Hello, I am Slumbo. Welcome to another discussion of AutoCAD. Today we'll be looking at drawing a rectangle. Drawing a rectangle. So we'll be drawing a rectangle which is 2,400 by 1,400. So we'll be drawing a rectangle which is 2,400 by 1,400. There are several ways of doing this. If in the first instance you can use the icon, or you can use the pull down menu, or you can use the dynamic input. So if you had to use the pull down menu, you go to draw rectangle. Then it says specify the starting point, so the first corner will specify that one. And then since we have the dimension that we want to use, so then you are going to select, in this case you have the area, dimension and rotation. So if you type the capital letter of this, it means that you have selected the whole word. If you want, you can type dimensions, is okay, but where you don't want maybe to type all the letters, then you just type D, meaning that you have chosen dimension. It doesn't matter whether the dimension is D is in the capital letter or small letter. As long as you have typed D, then you have chosen dimension. So now it is asking us to specify the length. So we are saying our rectangle is going to be 2,400. Then we specify, you say 2,400, and then you press enter. So whenever you are doing this, you should be checking what this is the command area, what the command area is saying, what the command area is asking you to do. So in this case, it's asking us to specify the width. So our width is 1,400. We are going to type 1,400. But if we had a width 10 as our width, then we would have just pressed enter. But in this case, we are going to punch 1,400. That's our width, and then you press enter. Now you can see our rectangle is coming up, and now it's asking us specify the other corner. So the other corner should be on this side, or maybe that side, or maybe this side, or maybe that side. So you have 4 possible options where you can have your rectangle. It's either this, or that, or that, or that side. So there are 4 possible options. So in this case, if I to click on that, then we have our rectangle as it is. So this is one way of drawing the rectangle. But the other way of doing this is to use the icon. So we need to activate the draw command by clicking on the gray area and then choosing draw, and then this comes in as it is. So that's going to be to draw a rectangle. You just go to rectangle and then you click on that. So we'll be doing the same, that is type D, and then we have 2,400. That is a figure that we used previously, and then 1,400. Then press enter, and then you have that rectangle. So we have 2 identical rectangles. But there is yet another way of doing this, is by using the relative polar method, where you can use polyline. So this is a polyline, or just a line. Polyline, the advantage of a polyline, if you use a polyline, the drawing is drawn as a block, whereas for the line, all the lines are separate. So if I'm to choose line, then I'll be asked to specify the starting point. So it says specify the starting point. I'll click on the starting point. I can click anywhere, but where I need a specific point, then I can say it to say what is this point. So I'm clicking on that. That's my starting point, and then they are saying specify the next point. So for this now is supposed to be at. So to type at, you have to press shift and the at key, like that. So because it's going to be a relative rectangular coordinate method, so my length is going to be 2,400. So I'm going to move 2,400 from the starting point horizontally, but not vertically. So it's supposed to be at 2,400 comma 0. So if we were to move up by some units, then it wouldn't have been comma 0 here. So comma 0, then we press enter. So the lines end there. And then I want to go down from there. It's going to be shift, then at symbol. Then we are going down, so it's supposed to be minus 1400 comma 0 comma 0. So sorry, it's not in this case. For x-axis is not is 0, but comma. Now in the y-axis is in the y-axis that we are moving now, so it's supposed to be minus. Since we are moving downward, so minus 1400. Then you press enter, and then we move this side. We are in the x-axis by towards the left hand side. If we are going towards the right, it's supposed to be positive, but towards the left is supposed to be negative, and also downwards in the y-axis is the negative, and upwards in the y-axis is the positive sign. So it's shift. Always don't forget to put at symbol. So it's minus 2400 comma 0. So comma 0 in this case, so you press enter. So you have that, and now you can just close it instead of maybe putting at and 0 comma 1400. You just say close. In this case, C, you type C and then you press enter. In that case, you have closed the diagram. So you can see that this is a rectangle. We've drawn a rectangle using the line method. But sometimes you can do this if you are to use the dynamic input. For dynamic input, you need to put this. It should be on. As it is, there is off, and there is on. Okay, so it's on for dynamic input, and so you go to whether it's going to be the rectangle. You have a rectangle, and then you do that. That's as you can see, we have specify the first corner is that one, and then you are going to type on the blue, which is 2400, and then in this case we are 2400. Then you press enter, and then we are in this case is maybe if we have to start all over again. So we are using dynamic input. We have you click on the starting point, that is 2400, and then now you move on to the next, which you say comma. Now comma next is supposed to be 1400, and if you press enter, so this enter now gives us the size of the rectangle that we are drawing in this case, as it is, because it was 1400, so it is upwards. If it was minus 1400, then it would have been down. Maybe if you were to repeat the drawing rectangle using the dynamic input, you have that. Then you type, you type 2400, and then you press comma. Okay, and then since we are moving that side, and now we want to go down, it's supposed to be minus 1400, and then you press enter. So you have that. That is another way of coming up with a rectangle using the dynamic input, and it's very fast in this case. You can even dimension this to see whether our drawing was accurate. That is you dimension and then see what is it. So you have 2400, and if we dimension on this side, we have that's 1400. So 1400, so 1400 to 400. So it's like that. But you see that the lines are in the cyan kind of color because they are in the dimension layer. So we can just change the layers. You select the lines and then you change the layers if we want. Maybe if we put should be under walls, so we have that. So our lines are under walls. Okay. But where we want these lines to have the same properties as that of the walls, you go to this is match properties or modify, then you choose match properties. You click on the the property of the line that you want other lines to take. Like in this case, we want the lines to be red, so you click on that, and then you click on the lines that you want to inherit those properties. So that's how we do this. So assuming that you were maybe drawing, you had two line drawing, you can offset this depending on the size of the spacing of the lines. For example, we just try to just offset it. This, if we say 215, that's the thickness of a wall, and then you click on that, then you offset internally. That's it, what you have. That's how it is. So that is only possible for those rectangles which are like a block. This cannot be possible with this kind of rectangle. If you want that, then you have to offset each line in 10 and then trim the lines. But since we were looking at how to draw the rectangle, then that's all that I had time for, and I believe that has been useful to you. Till we meet again, goodbye.